Hello everyone, time for part 3 of the lyrical takeover. Today we'll be talking about Poison in Paradise Eva. Let's have a look at that. Oh wait, that's not Eva, that's Siana. Today, let's move on into the new support that Siana has gotten, which is Gorgon Gift Siana. Let's start with the bright line, which some of you might be familiar with from the previous video. So our starter is Siana, your standard grade 0 starter. Like if you grow second, draw 1. Our grade 1 is Siana again. So all of Siana's cards have the skill where when this unit is attacked by a rear... At the end of the battle, this unit is attacked by a rear guard. If you did not put a card at the Guardian Circle, the opponent may choose to either discard a card, and if they did not discard a card, you bind that rear guard. So that basically forces your opponent to make a very tough decision on whether they actually do want to keep their rear guard or they actually had to go -1 just to attack the Vanguard. So for the auto skill, when this unit is rolled upon by a grade 2 with Siana in this card name, so +1, draw a card and return your opponent's rear guards to hand. So this basically sets up some of the effects for Siana, where basically you actually want an empty rearguard circles for some of the rears to function. So this does that. So moving on to the grade 2. It has a similar skill when it comes to binding rearguards, and when you actually when this unit is rolled upon by a grade 3 with Siana in its card name, you may choose a trigger unit or blitz order from your drop and add it to your hand. So basically this just gives you extra shield, extra survivability. It's your built-in +1 for the right line. Last but not least, let's talk about the Vanguard, the base Siana. Her skill is, if your opponent's total front row rearguard circles and guardian circles have 2 or fewer units, this unit gains +1 drive and a crit. So you really want to remove your opponent's front row rear such that they are forced to guard with 2 or more cards, or be forced to give you an extra drive and a crit. Do take note that although your opponent can just perfect guard the attack, you still get the extra drive unless they call extra card to the Guardian Circle, so keep that in mind. It also has the effect where when this unit is attacked, you may put a trigger unit from hand to soul and give it +15k power. So this actually has extra synergy with your effect heals and effect triggers which may be of lower shield. So keep that in mind. Let's talk about the main deck. For our grade 3s, we play 3 Gorgon Gift Siana. So why 3, and what does Gorgon Gift Siana do? Well, as you may have inferred from the opening joke of this video, she functions similarly to Poison in Paradise Eva, where when this unit rides upon the base Siana, you may check the top 5 cards of your deck, choose one, review it, and if it's not a normal unit, if it's not a sentinel and it's a normal unit, you may call it to rearguard circle, and if it's a blitz order, you may add it to hand and shuffle your deck. So basically, this has the effect of a built-in persona right and a +1 to hand. Wow, I wonder what other unit does that. And it also has the same effect as the previous one, where for the front, if both the front row rearguard circles and guardian circles have a total of only 2 or fewer units, this unit gains +1 crit and +1 drive. And at the end of the turn, write a unit with the original name of a base Siana as rares. So yes, it really is just straight up a 1-to-1 of Poison in Paradise Eva, but Siana flavor. So strong. Okay, let's talk about the grade 2s. For grade 2s, we have twin casts as our Regalis piece, 2 copies of the new Lyrical Blitz Order, and 4 copies of our Rock Agour, and 4 copies of Recklessness Dragon, and 4 copies of another unit that is just a very good attacker when you are out of counter blast. So let's start with the new kids on the block. The Blitz Order in particular. So the Blitz Order skill. Choose one of the following effects and do it. Choose one of the attacking units. Choose one of the units being attacked during the battle against +10. If the attacking unit is a rear guard, it gains 20 instead. So right off the bat, this Blitz Order is really good because it's just a 20 card shield. 20k shield. And during the turn, if your Vanguard has been hit by an attack, choose one of the attack units and give it 30k for the battle. Yes, this thing specifies hit. So if a unit has been hit but it does not take damage from the attack, it still counts. So do keep that in mind. This card might be familiar. This card's effects might be familiar to some of you because it is effectively a combination of 2 other Blitz Orders the deck previously had, which is a Vibrant Symphony and another grade 2 order, which the name eludes me currently. So let's move on to the other cards in the grade 2 slots. We have Esther, which is our Rock Agour. What does she do? When she is placed on rearguard circle, you may choose one of your opponent's rearguards and return it to hand. You may Soul Blast a Siana or Trigger unit, and during the battle, for each of your opponent's open front row rearguard circles, it gains +5. It's a very easy 20k beater if you know what you're doing. And then, why do I say this is a Rock Agour? At the end of the battle, when your Siana Vanguard attacks, so during the attack step, if your opponent has no front row rearguards, counter blast 1 and stand this unit. So the attack pattern is very clear. You swing with this first, then you swing with your Siana Vanguard, you counter blast 1, you stand this. Yeah, it's just very strong. Moving on to our next grade 2. So, this is Teletheus.
Before we go on to the next card, I just want to say there's a certain person on Twitter that doesn't want you to play this card in Siana. So did you know you can just play this deck as a 3 attack deck? I heard it's actually very strong, and you should definitely consider this approach of not playing a deck with multi attack when the multi attack is available. Okay, now Yuki can continue.
Thank you, Faye the Fourth, for your surprise appearance. Let's talk about Teletheus, the card that has been with Siana from the very start. So when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and return it. You may choose to let it return to hand. Okay. The auto skill is when this unit attacks. If you have a Siana Vanguard, counter blast 1 for each of your opponent's rearguard circles with no units. This unit gains 5,000 power. And if it gains 10,000 and above, it draws 1. Wow, it draws 1 and it gains 10k. I wonder what unit that reminds me of. This is just bonus treasure, isn't it? Okay, jokes aside, let's move on to our next card.
Lots of course.
Our next card is Juno. Yes. Her skill is if you have a grade 3 Siana Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's front row units and you return it to hand. If you Soul Blaster a trigger unit for this cost, choose one of your Vanguards, and this unit and that unit gain +10. So when you run out of Counter Blast, this unit is really good, because it allows you to just still have offensive pressure. So to round out the grade 2 section, I would just like to say that a lot of our grade 2 units have either very good numbers or restand, so they can put up a lot of pressure early on. So please make sure that you have enough grade 2s to mount an offensive. Oh, and not forgetting Regalish Haze Twin Cast. You know why it's good in Siana. It's a Blitz order, and it doesn't call anything to Guardian Circle. Yes. Let's move on to the grade 1s. We have 4 copies of, what's that? Firo, and another 8 rear guards, and our perfect guard. Let's go over the new card, Firo. So, as some of you familiar with the Ava deck might know, the titular protagonist of It's Not Va, It's Va, Imigrar. So, what this card does is, when it's in the drop, X skill, if you do not have a card with the same name as your rear guard, if your opponent's front row circles have no rear guards, EB3, you may call it to the open rear guard. No, you can call it to any rear guard circle and it gains 2. So basically, it's just a body that just keeps recycling itself. And its second skill, if your Vanguard's original card name is Siana, the original Siana, put this unit to Soul, search your deck for Gorgon Gift Siana, and write it as 10 and shuffle your deck. During this turn, if you did not normal right or Persona right activates. So yes, this is just Imigrar. I love It's Not Va, It's Va. Okay, so we all know that Siana is from dark states. Yeah. So we have a raw Agour. We also have a Vapula. So what this card does is, when it stays on the rear guard circle, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and return it to hand. If you did not manage to choose, you may soul charge one. So this allows you to get resources for some of your skills that may use soul and auto on rear guard circle. If you have a Siana Vanguard, when your Siana Vanguard attacks, if your opponent has no front row rear guards, move this card to soul, draw 1. So even without reading the rest of the skill, it's already a net 0 cycle. It's really good. And then during this turn, if you did Persona right during your battle phase, if your unit did not stand this, if your unit is not standing, choose one of your rear guards and stand it. So you may choose this to target one of your grade 2 rear guards, particularly Tedithius and the other rear guard that gains up to 10k. So both of them can be competent 20k attackers, which is an even larger number than Esther. And speaking of Esther, you actually have to sequence this very carefully. You have to use her first, then you use Esther, such that the effect will actually activate. So last but not least, excluding the perfect cards, we have Levran's skill. When she is placed on the rear guard circle, if your Vanguard is Siana, any grade of Siana, counter blast 1, soul charge 1, and then you may choose one card from your soul and add it to your hand. As some of you might be a bit concerned from earlier, why are we only running 3 Gorgon Gift Siana? Well, this is the reason. You can choose to recycle your Gorgon Gift Sianas from soul this way, and if you soul charge other cards like perfect guards, or for some reason if you're fighting Barrow Magnus, I don't know why, you can also choose to recycle a lot of your stronger grade 2 rears. This can also help you recycle your Vapula equivalent to help to extend for attacks for the particular turn. But do take note that this uses Counterblast, so it competes with Teletheus for that usage. It also has the other skill where when your Vanguard Siana is being attacked, EB3, put this to soul, choose one of your Vanguards, and you win the battle against 15k. So it's another source, right, for you to use your energy and also just, you know, protect your Vanguard without needing to use guard from hand. So you can actually force your opponent to discard to protect their rear guard. Okay, let's talk about the perfect guards. You might slightly be wondering, why are we playing the normal perfect guards and why am I not playing Sanctitude? This is because we are actually playing the other Blitz order and they would actually conflict with the deck. So for that reason, we've opted to use the normal perfect guards instead of Blitz orders. So yeah, do keep that in mind. Last but not least, let's talk about our triggers, our grade zeros. So 4, is that 4? No, it's 8. We run 8 criticals because we have a Vanguard with a triple drive. We run the light over trigger because, well, if your opponent just doesn't guard with a perfect guard, right, you can force them to just break their trigger and then just deal more damage to them with the increased critical. We are playing 4 effect heals, 2 of each, because we are making full use of our Vanguard's ability to just put triggers so and guard with them for full value. Last but not least, we have 3 fronts because we have a deck with Resending Rear, so fronts are indeed very powerful and they offer up more shield, especially when the only attack that you should be hard guarding, right, is the Vanguard attack, which for some decks can usually be quite big. So all in all, what makes this deck shine? What makes this deck even show up in tier lists when most of the other compatriots have actually fallen off the tier list? Heck, even Ava herself, right, is not on certain tier lists. I do not know why. I actually think the deck should still be on tier list, but that tangent aside, this deck actually has a lot of effective tools to control the board, force your opponent to make a lot of difficult decisions, good numbers, multi-attack, and also just a consistent gameplay loop in the form of whatever Poison in Paradise package has granted it. And some may even say, right, that the triple drive and the crit that this effect gives it, right, is somewhat like the famous deck that is now featured in Shadowverse Evolve, MLB.
Okay, that's enough. Blaster Dark, slaughter these schoolgirls. Ah! We are back. I've been trapped in there for so long. 3 years of no support. Oh my god. I can't do this anymore. I really can't. I don't play Kettle. I don't play Youth Work. I'm out. No more Lyrical. We're done. No. Okay. Let's celebrate Christmas the way God intended. Let's show them what the true meaning of Christmas is, my great friend that I've captured from the dark. Stand up once more, and wow, we can have Christmas. So goodbye all you school women, goodbye your scatterbrained Christmas. It's done. I'm back on the channel. We are no longer doing Lyrical. The age of Gauge is over. This is it. Alright, we're done. Okay, goodbye. Shoo. The show is over. The schoolgirls are all dead. It is now time for Blaster Dark. We all know who Blaster Dark is, right? No? Y'all don't know who I am? Oh, the 2011 deck? No? Okay. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see y'all goodbye.
Merry Christmas.
No, you're supposed to play dead.
Ow.